Howdy there, folks. A couple days ago, I saw The Avengers for the second time, and I saw it, thankfully, in 2D. I was looking forward to seeing it as it was intended. And I enjoyed it. Maybe not as much as the first time, but I definitely thoroughly enjoyed it. I have no problems with giving it a 9. I gave my first initial viewing a 10, and I still have no problems with that just because seeing it at midnight, opening, morning, with a sold-out crowd, young crowd, fanboy crowd, it was, I've never had an experience like that in the movie theater. So that's, why it was a 10. I will probably, always remember that. It was a fantastic experience. Here, the crowd was definitely, 98% sold out. It was in a large auditorium. I can't say the crowd was as nuts, but I have never seen a more crowd-pleasing movie. I'm trying to, search my memory for times when people cheered and, got into the film as much as they do here. And really, it's like, all I can come up with is Forrest Gump. I can remember as a kid or a teenager, whatever, watching Forrest Gump. And, the crowd was going nuts. It was like they were going nuts. So I've always remembered that Forrest Gump was, incredibly crowd-pleasing. And this, it's now I'm thinking of The Avengers. I don't think I've ever experienced a film where, the audience has applauded so much during a film. And it's still, I wouldn't call this a fanboy audience at all. I would call it just kind of a regular audience, albeit nearly sold out audience. But still, lots of clapping, lots of cheering. So it's like this communal experience. It really is something. And again, it's very pleasing. Not only is it crowd pleasing, but it's very pleasing. Right off the bat, it's exactly why you go to the movies. It's exactly why you go to the movies. To escape, to be totally taken away by a story, to not think, to, forget that you're even in a separate world than what this film is. And that's what this film does. It takes you somewhere impossible. It takes you into a fantasy. And it does it expertly. Movie is about Loki, the bad guy from Thor. Comes down to Earth with an alien army, and he's going to take over the planet. And once he gets the planet, he's going to give the power source, the cosmic cube, to I know who it is, but I can't spoil it for you. It's a big bad guy from the Marvel universe. He looked pretty cool ever so briefly I saw him. So Loki comes down, declaring war on the planet. He says that the fact that they have the cosmic cube and all of this unlimited power, that they have shown the galaxy that they are ready for a higher form of war. So Loki is there to test it. So in order to protect the Earth, Nick Fury of S.H.I.E.L.D. Assembles the Avengers. And the Avengers at first fight amongst each other. Then they are practically destroyed, scattered into the wind by Loki. And then they come back together to have the big battle. Really, it moves so quickly. It's a 2.5-hour film. feels like an hour and a half, if that. Somewhere this hour just disappears. It's basically nonstop. You know, it's nonstop. There was this little lull, and I mean, it wasn't that much at all, but there was like this little lull, like after, I guess you would call it the end of Act 2, when the Avengers have been defeated somewhat. They're kind of, you know, wondering what the hell they're going to do. There is like this, it's like the calm between these two giant, you know, special effects, action, epic set pieces. So it's like you've already gotten this taste of this amazing action, and then it just kind of stops to get back to the story, get back to the, you know, the human element, and then it just kicks into the last, you know, 40 minutes of carnage. I love the film. You know, it's already broken a lot of records. All the acting is great. Stars Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth, Samuel L. Jackson, Mark Ruffalo, Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, Jeremy Renner. Oh, who else is in there? Tom Hiddleston? Whoever plays Loki. He's really good. Gwyneth Paltrow's in there briefly. Whatever. Written and directed, I think co-written. Definitely directed by Joss Whedon. He's great with groups, and great with epic storylines. Usually, you know, he's known for his television work, so his storylines are, you know, hours long. And here, so it's just like he's already got that ability to conceptualize in his head this epic story and somehow make that work and get everything important. Again, this epic film just zooms by. It's just so perfectly told. All the acting is really good. I think every character has like their moment. I mean, sure that we are seeing these characters come from other films. If you've done your homework, you've seen all of these other, you know, films with these characters in them, so you've, in a way, it's already got this, you know the characters. But even if you hadn't seen, you know, like some people who ask me, like, do I have to see the other movies before I see the Avengers? I tell them that you have to see Thor. You've got to see Thor first. I mean, it's not a requirement, but you should see Thor before you see this movie. What was I going to say? Damn it. Forgot. But even though if you hadn't seen any of the films, still you get this sense of character. You get where everyone's coming from. All the characters are very fleshed out, even if they're not on the screen a whole lot. And you've got, again, these competing superheroes, these egos, and they all have their chance to shine. They all have their chance to shine. Both in terms of, like, quiet moments of acting and subtlety, and the over-the-top, you know, special effect battle scene, you know. Because there's no doubt that after a while that, you're just watching a cartoon. You have to be, somehow. That's what was amazing to me, is the special effects were just flawless, you know. I've never, seen special effects like this. This is just, it sets a new standard. It sets a new standard for entertainment. And it really just, the rest of the movies to follow this summer are going to have to be, like, badass to be able to you know, make people forget about the Avengers. I don't see how it's going to be done. You know, I would say the closest competitor is Batman, and Batman is going to have to be, well, the pressure's on. You know, the pressure's on Batman now to be more amazing than the Avengers. I really don't know what else to say about it. I mean, I just loved it. You know, I thought that there wasn't much to complain about. The story is there. It's totally relatable. It's believable. I mean, even for being something so unbelievable, because it knocks it down to being about flaws and just protection. Again, it breaks this huge cosmic storyline down to, you know, human elements so that we are able to connect. And I think that's what, you know, makes it successful. I really don't know what else to say other than you've got to see this movie. I mean, it's the reason you go to movies. I prefer it in 2D. Again, this film was not shot with 3D cameras or a 3D film. It was later converted to 3D. I'm always against that. If, you know, you should see it as it is intended. There's certainly nothing wrong with seeing it in 2D. You know, the first time I saw it in 3D, I had a lot of eye issues, you know, personally. So I just say go for the 2D, you know, any time. Unless, you know, it's filmed in 3D, which this was not. It was later converted. So I'd say 2D all the way. Though there is an IMAX 3D version, and I kind of want to see it, even though, I mean, it definitely wasn't filmed in IMAX, and it definitely wasn't filmed in 3D, so I don't see why you would see a film that's been converted twice over into a format that it's not suited for. So why you'd pay $20 for an inferior product, I don't know. So I definitely want to see this movie one more time. One of the complaints I had about seeing it the first time was the audience was so outstanding and crazy that, you know, I couldn't hear a lot of the dialogue. And I definitely heard more this time. I was definitely paying attention more. But still, I want to see it again. I want more. And I expect that I will, you know, still love it. Though I can say that I didn't really, like, notice more. I pretty much just got it all the first go-around, it seems. I mean, maybe a little bit here and there, but it definitely didn't, like, open up anymore. It just, like, the first time I saw it, I got it, and now the second time I've seen it, it's like, it's still all there. So I can't say that there's some little subtle things that I notice more, but, you know, maybe showing 3 will, you know, change my mind about that. So again, an awesome, spectacular spectacle. That is The Avengers. So it's a solid 9 for me. Thank you very much.